Hi guys, I am Shahzad and welcome in lecture number 8. Today's we are going to discuss about the buttons. So how can you create or manage your buttons or manipulate your buttons in Bootstrap 5. In the previous lecture we have discussed about the breadcrumbs, badges and alerts, and also we have discussed about the component sections. So basically we are covering the component sections because the button is a component, alert, badges. So these sections are available in the component sections, and they are also the component like list, like cards, like carousel. We'll discuss about it and everything, but for now I'm going to comment this one so you can easily get the code. Now I'm saying I have a div. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the class, like container, like row, like column, call 12. Sorry, it's a class call 12. Fine. Now I'm saying I have a button. Just use the button primary. So I'm saying this is my button. Fine. So go to your page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's saying button. Now I'm saying I'm going to use the BR section for the space. You can also use the margin or padding, but for now I'm going to use the BR. It's not recommended. Okay, now if I copy the buttons, I'm saying button, I'm going to use another danger, that means in the red format, secondary. And now I'm saying I think info, and we also have a class like success, and I'm saying this is warning. So go to your page, refresh the page. So now as you can see, even you don't have the you don't need to define the background colors. Coding Bootstrap 5 automatically using the built-in classes available. So as you can see, this is the primary, it's a danger, it's a I think secondary, it's info, and this is success, and this is a warning. So all these colors available in the button sections. So now as you can see, these are the buttons. Okay, so you can use this class in your anchor. Let's suppose if you have an anchor, you can use the same button, same class for anchor. Or let's suppose if you have a input type equals to button, and you have to use the button secondary value ABCDE. Okay, refresh the page. As you can see, the anchor is working fine, the input type equals to button is working fine, the button is also working fine. So button, you can use the button type, so fine. So this is the attribute. If you're using the submit, that means you're submitting a form. Okay, ignore this one. Fine. Now how can you use this? How can you create this and also this one? You just need to use the button dark and button link, so it will show you as a link. So let's try. I'm saying button link, go refresh. As you can see, it's showing link. You can also use the, as you can see, light. If you use the light class, it's fine. So in this way you can create the button. So according to the documentations, you can also read the documentations. You can use anchor, button, input type equals to button. Okay, let's suppose if you want to use this functionality like hover and also the border functionality for your button, you just need to use the, I'm going to create another, I'm going to copy, paste this one, and I'm going to create, or I'm going to use the classes for this particular. I'm saying button, but in this case I'm saying button outer line danger. Just use button, just use outer line. This is the extra outer line, outer line, outer line, outer line, outer line, outer line, and this is the outer line. Sorry. So as you can see, it's fine because it's not working. The background is white and also the color is also white. So as you can see, without doing anything, we have created this one. So you have the class for the outline: primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light. So you can create this one. Okay, let's suppose these are the built-in width and height. With these are the by default button. Let's suppose if you want to use the button small, large, you can also use some extra classes. Like if you are using the button large, it will automatically, let's suppose if you use the large button, just go to your page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's showing you the large button. You can also use some other property, button sm, that means small button. I think this class is not available. Okay, now so here button large and also button small. So these are the two classes available if you want to manage your width and height for your button. Okay, now if you use the disable attributes in your element, so as you can see now it's disabled. So which one? My button. So this is not clickable. Just use disable if you want to disable this one. You can also use the disable class. As you can see, according to documentation, you can also use the disable class or the attribute. Let's suppose if you are using the disable class, go to your page, refresh the page, also the disable. It's up to you. So as you can see, if you need the full width button, you can also use the this syntax. Like if you need the full width, I'm going to create the full width button for you out of the box. Okay, now I'm going to use copy paste to create the column and rows, and now I'm saying div class is the D grid and also gap I'm saying 2 4 fine, and here in the div I'm saying this is the button, and here I'm saying button primary, my button. Fresh. As you can see, this is a full width button. Let's suppose if you are defining the 6th column, as you can see it's automatically adjusting. If you used 2 columns, it will automatically adjusting. We'll discuss about how it's working. So what is the logic behind this functionality? I'm talking about the columns, because this is the grid systems, and you know very well that we are going to explain or discuss about the grid systems in our later lectures, because grid system is advanced topics. Okay, now let's suppose if you want to disable this one, same thing, just use disable now. You can also use the disable attributes if you want to disable a particular element. It's totally depend upon you. Okay, you also have some kind of other functionality like toggle or something like that if you are creating the toggle functionality. So now as you can see, this is the toggle. As you can see, they are using the col 6, so that's why it's showing us the column 6 buttons. So we'll discuss about the grid system, don't worry about it. I'm saying gap 2, that means okay, if you create the second bad boy, okay, as you can see, gap is 4. Right click, inspect element. If you click on the button, as you can see, the gap is the property. Where is the gap? It's okay, fine, here is the gap. So this is the gap 1.5. so this is the functionality. So okay, so it's up to you. How can you manage? Just as you can see, if you want to align your buttons, how can you do that? I'm saying, as you can see, this is the code and this is the grid, gap to flex, justify content, and so it's a right. It's showing you the right. You have some few plugins. How can you use them? You also have a toggle stat. So we'll discuss about these things in our later lectures. But for now, you can manage your buttons like this. You can okay, now let's suppose if you want to change your buttons color. So how can you do that? We'll discuss about this one in our later lectures. But for now, this is the button, and in the next lecture we are going to explain how your button groups works. So thank you for watching.